Okay, welcome back to Lunch Break. This is for Wednesday, the 28th, 29th. For Wednesday, the 29th. It'll be an awesome day. Today is the day that our pastor, maybe he'll get out before, but today's the day he's getting discharged from rehab. And we're going to go by and see him, say hello, and cheer him on as they have been in a battle. And that's why we've been talking about this series on the battle is the Lord's. The battle belongs to the Lord. He owns it. And we've been giving the idea across that there needs to be an ownership of a battle. When a battle attacks somebody, like America, when they were attacked, needed to take initiative and did, and declared war. The first initiative it took was to declare war on the enemy's war. And then the battle became America's battle. Instead of being on the defense, became on the offense. And we're going to see in our series here, declaring war on the enemy's war, with 2 Samuel 10:9, we're going to see one of King David's generals. He wasn't really God's general, that's a different story, but he was King David's general, and he was sent into a battle, and he got ambushed. And this is 2 Samuel 10:9. When Joab saw that the front of the battle was against him before and behind. Think about that. I'm dealing with the front of the battle. And back here, I'm dealing with the front of the battle. In the front of the battle, the worst part, the hottest part of the battle was in front and behind him. He chose of all the choice men of Israel, and he put them in array against the Syrians. I don't know if they were in front or behind him, but he set the initiative. The initiative came against him, and then he reset it. He changed the dynamic of the battle, and he put them in array. When you're come against a battle set in array against you, you need to now set the array. And that's what America did. It set the initiative. When we consecrate something to the Lord, like the battle, when we take our stand and we start fighting in the name of the Lord, and consecration, understand the word consecration means we give it to God. That means we sell out and say, God, whatever you got to do in my life, I'm laying it down. I've had a person recently do that with me. Something happened in their life. They suffered a tragedy, and they gave me something that belonged to them, that was precious to them. They gave it to me, and I went ahead and I'm keeping it. And I was like, well, why are you giving this up? They go, I need to make a change. And I was like, wow, they were serious about what they wanted God to now do in their lives. And they were basically saying, I'm setting this battle in array. I'm giving it to God. And I'm consecrating myself to God. Giving it to God doesn't mean you just give up. It means you actually get very involved in consecrating yourself to the Lord even more. And that's what this person did. They gave something very precious to them that they loved, that I don't know if it was a problem in their life or not, but I want to make a change. I need to make a change, is what they said to me. And I was like, well, they're consecrating this and this thing that they enjoy to God, because they gave it to the church. They gave it to me personally. And it wasn't like, hold on to it for me. It was like, here, you serve God with this, so now you have it. I need to serve God. That is setting things in array where God now can say, this is now my battle. So that's what Joab did here. And then in verse 12, he says this to his men. So he realizes the battle's hot in front and hot in back, takes the choice men, puts them in one side or the other, and says this, be of good courage, and let us play the men for our people, for the cities of our God, and the Lord do that which seems him good. Now, we have a much greater promise from God than Joab's attitude. I won't go deep into the story of Joab, but he was David's general, but he didn't even stay faithful to David in the end. And I like the fact that he was a really successful general. But I don't like the fact that he said, let us play the men. We don't have to play the men. We don't have to play being a Christian. In other words, let's act like it. We're men, so let's act like men and let's fight for our people and for the cities of a God. That sounds noble. And then let the Lord do whatever seems good to him. The Lord wants us to win, we'll win. If he doesn't, we're not going to win. Let's just put it in God's hands. I get that. But we're not actors. We're not actresses. We're not How's the Bible say? It's an awesome thing. We are not of those who draw back unto perdition. We're to those who believe to the saving of the soul. We believe to the saving of the soul, to the complete and deepest form of rescue and deliverance. So when he says, be of good courage and let us play them in, we're not playing. This is not a game. We're not acting. We are being. The Bible says in Acts 17:28, for in him we live. In him we move. In him we have our being. Jesus used to call the Sadducees, Pharisees, the lawyers of his time, hypocrites. And that word was actor. You're acting. You're actors. You're not the real deal. You are not being. You're doing. But it's not really you. But in him, as a Christian, as a believer, who have given our hearts to Jesus and let him transform us and been born again by his Spirit, his attitude in us, in him we live and move and we have our being. As certain also of your own poets have said, for we are also his offspring. That's Acts 17:28. Another verse I would like to put in here. When 2 Timothy 4:2 and the Apostle Paul said to his son in the faith, Timothy, who is training up in the things of God, he said to him, preach the word and be instant in season and out of season. In other words, it needs to be inside of you, Timothy, because it will happen when you're supposed to do something and you've been prepared and asked to do something, and when you're not even supposed to do it, but you need to be anyway. You need to be, not do. You're not an actor. You don't need to learn your lines. You need to be the real deal. And when he said that to 2 Timothy 4:2, preach the word, be instant, in season and out of season. You're able to do when you be. We're able to live and move in him and have our being. We're not actors. We're not just playing them in. An obedient ear, doing what he says, helps us to be. Preach the word, be instant, in season and out of season. Reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine. Be ready at all times. Don't act. Be. So there's a real important dynamic to war, declaring war on the enemy's war. Set the battle in array, consecrate it to God, sell out to the Lord. Let him make a change in you. That's what that man did. You know, he suffered a tragedy in his life, and he came up to me and said, I'm giving this. I'm like, he knows it's something that I personally am interested and gave to me. And it's like, it wasn't like, hold on to me this for a while. He was giving it to the work of God. And I don't know if that was something that he felt was in the way in his life, but it was like, why? I need to make a change. He was consecrating that part of his life to God. So now God could own his battle. Became God's battle. And Joab set the battle in array. It was coming against him before and behind, but he had an answer to it. And he said, this is what we're going to do. And he took the initiative. Like America retook the initiative. That's what we need to do today in America. And the Bible says, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves, return from their sin or their evil ways and pray, then I will answer from heaven and I will hear from heaven and I will heal their land. We still have the ability to take the initiative. Never give up, never give in, because he is with us. The battle is his, for he is a man of war. All right, more on Thursday. Thank God that in him we live and move. and in him we be, and we can take the initiative. A kiss to the King. See you tomorrow.